Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. So when the winter time comes, I know I'm going to get three things: hot chocolate, cold weather, and a random picture of Wendy Williams walking around in her famous short shorts and a fur coat. And I got to thinking the other day, where the heck is Wendy? Now, you know, typically by now, paparazzi would have spotted her out somewhere, TMZ would have seen her out somewhere, but nobody has seen Wendy. And obviously, I'm not the only one looking for her.
Wendy Williams was last spotted, I believe, 200 and something days ago.
Then Jason Lee took to his Instagram page 6 days ago and said, "I'm still outraged. I have no idea where she is or how she's doing." So obviously Wendy Williams not being around is a concern for a lot of people. Her good friend, Miss Jones, aka Jonesy from 94.7 The Beat, was like, "I'm going to pull up." And she did. Now her and Wendy have this type of friendship where they can pull up on each other. Wendy's done it to her before. Now she's doing it to Wendy. So Jonesy pulls up, and according to the doorman, she's a couple of months late. Wendy has already moved. So we're going to get into Wendy and her whereabouts in this video. However, I also want to tell you that I found some news on Miss Sharina Nicola Hudson. Now, we told you that Kelvin was being sued by UBS Bank for the $20,000 he owed to a credit card, and we also let you know that Kelvin and Sharina were moving out of their home due to them selling it. What I didn't tell you about is something I just found out about today. Sharina is now being sued for a credit card that she owes to TJMAXX. Child, when I tell you, once the water started to run dry and Wells Fargo locked Wendy's account, it was like Kelvin and Sharina was going through the desert without water. Wendy not giving them money obviously has them struggling, and it shows. We are going to break down this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So 2024 should be a huge year for Wendy. She's turning 60 years old in a few months, and that's actually a big deal. However, we have not heard from her, we haven't seen her or anything, and it's got a lot of us concerned. Now, you know, it's nothing for TMZ or the Daily Mail to spot her out, but it's been months and nobody has said anything about it. Well, Miss Jones was like, "Screw this, I'm going to see about my girl Wendy." Now, many of you may remember back in the day there was some talk that Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter was actually wanting to pay a hitman to unalive Miss Jones. Many years later, Miss Jones got a chance to talk to Wendy about it. Wendy said that he wasn't taking it in the literal sense. They ended up chopping it up. They became really cool friends, and ever since then, they just been locked tight. Now, Miss Jones, growing more and more concerned about not hearing from Wendy recently, decided to pull up on Wendy's house. And according to her, this is how it went down.
Okay, so yesterday, Wayne made me go and visit Wendy Williams.
I made you go.
Everybody was in on it.
You know, I sort of did because I kept saying, "Did you go? Did you go? Did you go?"
And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I pull up. First, I pulled up to the wrong building.
It's been a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had to walk, but it was okay. And so I get there. I go inside. The door people greet me and and I said, "This might be a shot in the dark, sir, but I'm here to visit Wendy." And he shakes his head and he goes, "You're a couple of months late.
Wow.
She moved." And I said, and he goes, "Yeah, that's all I can tell you." So, you know, I start prying. I'm like, "Well, did they sell the unit? Is it on the market?" Because this was a fabulous duplex. And the building she was living in, which now I can tell you guys, it was supposed to be a hotel originally. And then COVID hit and they couldn't, obviously, no one was supposed to be in a hotel, so they sold it. And she told me how much she paid for it, and I was like, that was such a steal. It was beautiful, 2-floor, 3-bedroom unit. So I thank you, sir. And then I go and I look for the other people that, you know, live in the building, work in the building.
Start sleuthing.
Yup. And I got my sleuth on. And they said, "Well, you know what happened? She was getting better. She was coming around, and then she started getting sick again." And because her family's in Florida, and people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with, and they didn't know, like, you know, they couldn't get access to her when they wanted, they moved her down to Florida. So she is allegedly down in Florida with her son, recuperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wish her.
We do wish her well.
Yeah.
And Wendy, if you listening, you won. Diddy going to jail for Easter. It was true. Everything you said. I always believed. I always knew. You won. And Kev can't get your money neither. Wendy, the judge shut him down. You can stop now, Wendy. The gig's up.
So Wendy, according to Jonesy, is with her son in Florida. I looked up her place in New York and it hasn't been sold and it's not up for sale. So we know more than likely she does plan on going back to New York. She's just getting away, getting healing and away from the people that don't mean her well. And she's with the person that she trusts the absolute most, and that's Lil Kev, her son. Now let's talk about Sharina Hudson. So I will never forget the episode when Wendy made Sharina a hot topic. And it was just that part when she said, with my car and my money.
Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money.
Life is not what you think it is behind the scenes. Trust me. Homegirl is miserable. Like, that's what you get.
But it wasn't until after Wells Fargo froze her accounts that we truly knew that Wendy was pretty much financing their entire lifestyle. The home just 9 miles from Wendy's home, the cars, the trips, all being funded by Wendy. Now that Wendy is locked out of her accounts, so is Kelvin and Sharina. They sold their home in Florida a few months ago. It looks like Sharina has downsized and now credit cards are becoming delinquent. There was a default judgment awarded to UBS Bank due to Kelvin being delinquent, and now Sharina has a court date set for next month for defaulting on a TJMAXX card issued by Synchrony Bank. The amount per the document is $3,454.03, which probably was pennies to the couple back in the day. However, now that Wendy's funds have run dry for them all, these two were not afforded the same amenities that they once were afforded a few years back. Now, Kelvin is no longer receiving alimony from Wendy. Wendy no longer having to pay alimony due to the clause that stated that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification, and it was terminated shortly after Wendy's show was canceled. Child, when they say the chickens have come to roost, they have truly come to roost, and Kelvin and Sharina are feeling all of the roosting. Well, I will definitely update you on everything going on with this TJMAXX card, as well as any spottings of Wendy Williams. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with Wendy? Have you even wondered what's going on about her since you haven't heard about her? And what do you think about this TJMAXX card getting canceled for Sharina? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.